This week I really wanted to kind of go around and just ask everybody if they had any tips or tricks for mindfulness or just ways to cope with any anxiety or stress, because I know that like a lot of conversations I've had lately have been unfortunately kind of negative and people feeling a lot of sadness over the latest lockdown. And so something that I've been doing for myself is using Headspace. So everybody at the Happiness Index has an annual subscription to Headspace, and I've taken advantage of that and started doing like at least 10 minutes within my day of just meditating. And I know it's not easy for everybody. It wasn't easy for me at first, but it's actually really helped. So that's something that I've been doing. You don't really have to have Headspace to do it. You can probably find something on YouTube and do it as well. But I'd like to go around and ask other people if they had any other kind of tips that's been helpful to them. So Tara, if you'd like to start off, sort of put you on the spot.
Sure. I swim in the sea every day. So that for me is my kind of savior. It has been my savior in the last year. Amazing. So I swim in my swimming, well, actually, no, I swim in wetsuits and costumes, but it's the reason why I love it so much is that, and it's so good for mindfulness, is you can only think of one thing at the time. Like you're basically trying not to drown and breathe. And you can go into the sea with 100 million different thoughts, but you come out and you've kind of been able to process it, and it's all kind of like been organized, and you get this flush of adrenaline afterwards, and the benefits are huge. So for me, sea swimming, and a lot of people in Galway I've noticed who would normally stop in October are swimming right through the year, through winter. And 2 weeks ago it was 3.6 degrees. It was very cold. I got chilblains, but regardless of that, I still go in. So yeah, sea swimming is a good one, but I'm lucky. But it doesn't have to be the sea. Wild swimming's just as good. So streams, rivers, whatever.
Yeah, that's something that when we went to, I was talking to you about my team going down to Brighton, and we actually, the 2 mornings that we were there, we went out into the sea and went for a swim, and it was amazing. It was definitely what you said, just kind of focusing on that one thing, not drowning, but it just really does clear your mind, and it's really fun. Cool, thank you, Tara. Jade, you're up next on my screen.
Thank you. I wish I could swim in the sea. Gosh, I'm freezing just going into the garden today, but yeah, very brave. For me, I've been trying to spend less time on my phone. Like, I think where we haven't been going out and seeing people, I've just been at the weekends just stuck to my phone. So I've been trying to read more, which has been good. So I'm reading This Is Going to Hurt, which is like I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's a really great book and it makes me laugh. So that's for me, just trying to do things, so whether that's baking a cake or reading a book or just going for a walk. And that's really helped at the weekend, and I don't feel like I've just wasted my time. So staying off my phone at the weekends as much as I can.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I've recently started, actually I've been doing this for a while, I guess, but more so recently, just deleting any kind of social media off my phone. Because I do, without even realizing it, I'm reaching for it, looking at Instagram or Facebook or even LinkedIn. Sometimes it takes a lot of my time. So just kind of deleting those apps off your phone, because you don't really realize it. You just get sucked into a hole.
It's addictive.
Yeah. And I realize, and I noticed that like my anxiety goes down more when I don't even look at my phone, and it just has a huge impact on your mental health and well-being. So thanks, Jade. Sophie, you're up next.
So yesterday we're doing like a feel-good festival around well-being and mindfulness at the moment, and we did Yin Yoga, which I'd never done before. So it's basically yoga for lazy people, so it's ideal for me. But it really is centered around wellness and mindfulness. Sorry, not wellness, mindfulness, because you sit in one position for like 2 minutes, and it's a fairly like easy position, but it's about focusing on how your body's feeling, and really no judgment to how it's feeling, but focusing on different elements of that particular stretch or pose. And it's really easy and really calming, and the instructor was awesome. I'll pass on her details if you guys want it, and we did it for the whole company to join in. But I thought it was a really interesting mindfulness exercise, because it really does make you focus, but you're focusing on something about your body. So I will be continuing with that for sure. And we've also got the Calm app subscription for everyone in our business as well, and that's been, I listen to it religiously every night. A sleep story, Harry Styles' sleep story.
They have some great on Calm.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Oh, that's dreamy. Those are probably my two saviors.
I might have to get a tutorial or what is it, a trial, so I can hear Harry Styles. I'm a big fan.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you, Sophie. Jen, how about you?
Oh, thanks, Rosie. And that sounds great, that Calm thing. Actually, I'll have a look for that as well. Rosie, you probably remember me mentioning before, I'm a massive Headspace fan. Do that absolutely every single day. I also journal every day. I practice gratitude every day, write through things that I'm grateful for. And a success for the day as well. And that success does not have to be a business related one. It can just be sometimes made it through the day. So it's literally just sort of noting in life that at the moment we're all doing the best that we can. So, you know, that's a good thing. But also as well, I get outside every day. I've got 2 dogs, so I'm very lucky. I have to go out with the dogs, and I love that. Any weather, any time. But one of the things that I sort of adopted over winter was very much thinking about a much more Norwegian approach to dark nights and darkness and lack of daylight. And that was to buy a really good head torch. So we've been going out with the dogs whilst it's dark in the morning. One of the most amazing things is that we've been hearing owls, and the owls are amazing, and they're Tawnees, so they do the proper twig-two thing, and we can hear them up and down the valley when we walk the dogs really early in the morning. Weirdly enough, it's now getting light in the morning, so we get the morning chorus, but it's just connecting back to nature. I think most of us have got that common thread saying get back to nature, get outside, do something that kind of makes you feel alive, even if it's going into garden jade. That's a good thing as well, you know. But it's just to really plug back into all those things. Yeah, and then at work we've been really lucky that we've had an initiative that ran out in the Australia office called 10 at, and it was started in the Sydney office 10 at 10, and it was actually in a room, and they brought everybody together in the office to have 10 minutes of mindfulness, and it's being rolled out globally. We're a global company at Arab, so that's really cool. And we have lighting designers who've done like a lighting thing and a sound thing for it as well. So you can put certain things in your diary. You can just like sign up and you do 10 minutes of breathing and just kind of mindfulness. And it doesn't purport to be anything particularly. It's just if you want to tune in and feel as well that human connection with others, which can sometimes really help. So totally identify with what Sophie was saying there.
Definitely. Thank you, Jen. That's really cool. I love that you're able to go out on that walk in the mornings too early and hear the owls. That's so cool. I definitely wish that I was closer to larger parts of nature. I'm stuck in London, but there are like lots of parks around that I like to go on walks too as well, just to get back outside. So Caroline, how about you?
Well, I'm super jealous of Tara because I would love to go to the beach. That is my happy place.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing I miss most about this situation. So in lieu of that, I go out on my bike if I can on my own. It's probably the only time I get on my own because I've got the kids here. So that just, yeah, switches off. Or I go on the running machine and watch Bridgerton.
I didn't think I would like that show, but I did. I don't know. I don't know if I do like it.
I know. I'm still not sure, but I'm still watching.
Thanks, Caroline. Max, I'm not sure if you're listening. If you are, that's okay. I can skip past you. I know Lucy's just listening today. Okay, I'll skip past you both then. Cool. All right, thanks everybody. That was really, really cool to hear. I definitely picked up some good ideas from everyone. Sophie and Marco, I'd like to introduce you both. Thank you for coming on Happiness in Humans today. Sorry, Max just said, okay, he's just listening today. I was wondering, what do you two do to take care of your mental health, reduce stress?
I can show you. One like this. Just snip on it. It will reduce a lot of stress. This is the best medicine.
And his name is
Droppie.
It's in Dutch.
It's a Dutch name, but it's something like pumpkin, little pumpkin.
It's cute. That's very cute.
Oh yeah, but it really helps. It's the best medicine to reduce stress. And every day we take a walk outside.
Mm-hmm.
And a few days ago there was a blizzard here, and so a lot of snow. But right now it's very sunny, so it's beautiful white. It's
And
beautiful.
you're in the Netherlands, right? For those that don't know, yep, amazing. Well, I would like to start off with just asking you both. Could you explain to us what you do? Just background yourselves, and Marco and Sofie have a business called Sound and Solid, where they work to bring happiness into into organizations on organizational and individual level. But if you could just explain how you got into the business of happiness and your background, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll start. My journey with happiness started, I think, in 2017. 2017. I saw a presentation of Mo Goddard, and his story really inspired me. So from then on, I read a lot of books about happiness. But last year, I quit my job, and I wanted to start on my own. But then the pandemic started in the Netherlands, and I helped Sofie with her business. Because she was already in the happiness business. And yeah, it was a match made in heaven. So I quit my own company that I just started a few months, and we started our own company, Sound and Solid. So that's my journey in really short.
Yeah. I started happiness in the business from 2016. I was working at an insurance company, a quite big Dutch insurance company. I wasn't very happy in my job. After a huge reorganization, then I started to find a way to become happy again. So in this way, I found the topic happiness at work. And I really feel connected with this topic. So I did a lot of research and study, and also workshops. And I'm kind of workshop junk, so I follow everything which I can follow. And then in 2018, I started my own business, and in this way, I help as a consultant. I help organizations to create more happiness and engagement and connection within their organizations. So this is my journey in short.
Thank you both. Thanks. That's really great. It's good that you both ended up coming together for that same purpose. And actually, I know that, Marco, you said you had your own business before, ended up joining Sofie, so that's amazing. So can you tell us what is Sound and Solid exactly, and what you do, and what's your mission?
I think that's for you.
Actually, it's Sound and Solid is a new name of our business together. And before that, I called my company Build Your Happiness, and it's now becoming our signature event, and which Marco will tell you about our events later. And now it's called Sound and Solid, and it means that we make a lot of noise to attract attention of people, so that people could be aware of the importance of topics like happiness. And it also means grounded. So we are really down to earth and result driven. And solid, it means we stand solid in our business, in what we believe. And I like the question about mission, because I've been looking for our mission for actually a few years. Actually, my own mission in the first place, because I knew there are a lot of scientific researchers, they are telling us why happiness at work is good, but it felt like quite irrational, I didn't feel it in my heart. And then I'm working on my own journey to like personal development. And one day I found the answer. Actually, our mission is to make as many people as possible to be aware of the importance of a people first business, and then take action. And what people first business means to us is that that everyone can be themselves, can stay themselves. stay true to who they are, and they can do things which really matter to them. And happiness is like a kind of journey for us to discover who you really are, and to discover the things which really matter to you. Mm-hmm. And we hope to create company culture together with our clients, so that everyone can work in that environment.
I love that mission, Sophie. That's something that aligns really well with what we do at the Happiness Index with our vision, freedom to be human. It just means being able to be yourself. So I think that's really cool. I love that movement. So how do you exactly help organizations bring happiness into the workplace and understand how they can be themselves?
Yeah, we do it like in different ways.
Yeah, we have different phases. I think that an important phase is the awareness phase. And that's why also we are going to organize some online events, but that's for later, to make as much as people aware of these topics. And after that, we go further. Well, we deep dive in the organization, and that's Sophie's part.
Yeah, because I always had the big frustration is, although there are a lot of scientific researches, you know, they tell us how important happiness is at work, but even today, there are a lot of organizations are still asking the questions like, why is it important? What does happiness at work mean? And what's in it for me? Like that kind of questions. And so, and one day I really felt frustrated. I said to Marco, let's organize a huge event and to show everyone how important it is. But not only us, but together with like famous speakers like Mo Goddard and Bruce Daisley. And we hope in this way we can make people really aware, especially the leaders within organizations, become more aware of the importance of these kinds of topics. And actually, how I do my job is I help organizations to make a strategic plan to see what they really need. And some people, I also have contact with some organizations. They are talking about their, you know, turnover or sick leave, that kind of things. But I don't think, I don't believe that if you use that as an start point, you know, I understand if your people are happy, then you will get lower turnover or sick leave. Mm-hmm. But I think if you are you like to work on topics like happiness work, you should the most important is that you want to take care of your people. It's not because you want to get a higher score or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I sit down with clients and to find the core, what's going on, and then we work from there. It takes normally a year and sometimes 3 years. Now I'm talking with some potential clients, and we're going to set up a project for 3 years to really transform the culture from really hard culture to the human culture, actually. Mm-hmm. And so it depends on the situation, which organization. So we
Do you find that like in different locations and different, I mean, I'm sure maybe I'm just asking a dumb question, but like in different industries, locations, they have different challenges and you have different ways of approaching those different organizations?
Yeah, I have 2019, 2 years ago. Yes, it's 2 years ago. I had an assignment at ABN AMRO. It's one of the biggest Dutch banks, and within a big department, and there were like 800 employees here. And it's assignment after a huge reorganization. So there was a kind of lack of connection, engagement within the department, and so that's a big challenge for them. Mm-hmm. And then I've been asked to create actually connections in place of happiness, but you know, happiness is a universal topic, so it's also very important in the connection topic. So I started from there, and now I'm going to help organizations. They are kind of ABN AMRO is a huge organization. And now I'm helping an organization which is kind of from a startup to a scale up. And they paid a lot of attention in the growth of business instead of paying attention to how it's going with our employees, you know, the soft side. And now they realize that the quantity grows very fast, but a lot of people are leaving their company, and they want to grow even bigger. So in this way, they have to have this kind of culture, and where people will be proud of the company and would like to stay with them. So different companies have different challenges.
Right. I wonder, I know that, Jen, you said that you have a global workforce. Sorry, I'm bringing you to the conversation here. And Sofie, you've got teams in the US. I mean, you must have different challenges that you face with employees, what's important to them in those different locations. And I don't know, do you have any kind of experience with that?
Yeah, I think through the pandemic, it became really interesting, and I know I've mentioned this before, Sofie, Rosie, in terms of different things became important at different points as to where we were with people in various points of lockdown. So yeah, I think it's really interesting thinking about that, and culturally the differences as well, but equally some of almost what you would call hygiene factors in terms of people's access to good internet, technology, all of those sort of things. And not that, you know, as we've discussed already on this call, you know, putting your phone down can be a real beneficial thing, but when it means in terms of getting your job done, connecting within your company and having that kind of community feel, it can make a massive difference. So yes, absolutely noticed and continue to learn from different parts of the globe, but community feel is a fairly universal thing, but then how it's applied locally and regionally is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we were looking at with some of our clients at the Happiness Index. We work with organizations globally too, and we were just looking at things that were more important to them in those different locations, and even kind of like how people respond to surveys too. It's interesting just to understand those cultural differences across the globe. Sofie and Marco, did you notice anything within the past year of bigger challenges that people have faced compared to when you were working with clients previously in terms of happiness?
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody is working from home, of course, especially people that are well, just by themselves. They're the single people. They're really lonely at the moment. We hear that all the time. So there are a lot of extra challenges. But the good part, the leaders will also see the importance of these topics. Before the pandemic, it was it was known that it's good, and it was not really that important that right now, because everybody sees that the soft part of and the human part is getting more and more important. Because otherwise the next pandemic will be mental health.
Right. I've heard that phrase too, Marco, and I think everybody's nodding their head here. Yeah, that's something that a lot of people are putting more importance on.
Wow.
So can you tell us a little bit about your events that you have coming up, and explain to us what you mentioned that you did an event previously, that large event that you had a few celebrity speakers on, which is amazing. But could you just share a little bit about those?
Yeah, of course. I think it was last July that we thought that we should organize an event. And we thought back then, let's organize one event in 2021 in September, because in September, that's 1.5 years from the pandemic will be over. Well, think again. But that one should be our signature event, of course. But right now we have four events. 3 of them are online, and the first one is March. The 4th of March, and it's an online event, and it's online because of the pandemic, and because of it that it's online, there are no barriers anymore. So therefore we thought we don't actually have to ask just Dutch speakers. We can also ask international speakers. And I asked Sofie, which speaker comes up to you? And it was Bruce Daisley. And I thought of Mo Goddard because he inspired me. And we just looked online and it's like, okay, can we find some contact details of the guys? Oh yeah, there are. Like, okay, let's just tell them our story. And within 3 days, we got a yes from both of them.
Amazing.
Bruce Daisley even asked us to hop on a Zoom call to discuss the details, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, the first one is called Define Your Happiness, by the way, and it's we will discuss topics like hybrid work, employee engagement, and how to create a physical connection in an online world. So I think that's pretty amazing, especially because this is our first online event, and we already have speakers like Mo Goddard and Bruce Daisley. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have also participants in different countries.
Yeah, that's also cool. We already have participants in well, of course, the Netherlands, but also Belgium, Germany, UK, Iceland, Sweden.
Wow, amazing.
Poland. So it's a really international event right now, and there will be a few more this year. One in April, in the end of April. It's going to be called Embrace Your Happiness, and the last one is in November. It's going to be called Celebrate Your Happiness.
So it's kind of journey.
So it's a real happiness journey, and we don't want to stop with just one event, because if you just organize one event, it's like organizing a workshop in an organization. Everybody's happy for a week, but then the workshop gone. Is a week ago, so it's gone.
Yeah.
Therefore, we like to organize more events in a year to keep the spirit up.
Yeah, actually, it's also a kind of core methods which I've used in organizations, because once we defined what's happiness within the organization, then we every week, every month we have activities to support the topics, so people can really experience what's really happiness, and once they've experienced it, and they will get excited, and they will take actions eventually.
Yeah, I love that you right away define what is happiness. Do you do that on an individual level and then an organizational level, or is that something that you kind of all just come together and define happiness as a whole?
Well, for the events, it's I think kind of both. We're aiming on individuals and we're aiming on companies as well.
Okay.
Individuals, because everybody is welcome. These topics are relevant for everyone. And we focus on business as well, but especially for leaders, and to bring their team as well. So afterwards, after the event, they can implement the takeouts of the event into the organization.
Right. I think that's important because happiness can mean different things to different people. One thing doesn't make everybody happy. It's different for everybody. So that's really cool that you do that and define. I love that, defining your happiness. My next question for you is, what would you say to somebody who doubts the importance of happiness in the workplace? It's a tough question, but I feel like you might have a good answer.
It's a good question. Yeah.
Just be miserable for a month and
then you will come back to us.
Then you will be happy for the rest of your life. I think that's my answer.
Yeah, I think and earlier, and when I think a few years ago, I would have discussion with the person who really didn't believe in the happiness like topic. But nowadays, I think someone said once, if I won't waste a second with people who don't believe in the topic which I believe, or who don't believe in me. So I also work as coach, so maybe I will ask a question, what do you do if you're not happy? And or maybe I think, maybe he's not or she's not really it, so maybe later, and then I will just leave it there.
Yeah, I think like I know that a lot of us here all fully believe in the importance of being human and happiness in the workplace and putting people first, but there are people out there that don't believe in it and don't understand it. And so I guess all of our missions on this call, not even just you and Sofie and Marco and myself, but everybody, we all have to commit to creating happier and healthier futures of work for everybody. So I think having that mission that you have, Marco and Sofie, is amazing. What is it about your job, the best thing about your job that you enjoy, your favorite part?
Create happiness. Yeah, and if I look at the events, is to bring a lot of people together with the same mindset, and yeah, to help them to go even further, developing that mindset and developing the skills on the happiness. So I think that's my favorite part, to bring all those people together, and of course also with the speakers.
Yeah, for me, I think every time if I work with a client, and it doesn't matter if it's a company or individual, you see where they start, where they started, and then you see a few months later or a year later, and then where the end stand, and you see the difference, you see the transformation, and then if I'm just saying this, I already feel very excited. Then you help people like transform their life and their business. So which means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because I see this as a mission of my life, to realize this transformation.
Mm-hmm. And creating positive change is such a worthwhile mission and goal in life. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. I guess I just had one last question for you too. I'll leave it to the end. Does anybody have any questions for Sofie and Marco about what they do, about their events?
On physical connection in an online world, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we'd have to probably come to the event to find out more, but have you got any like top tips for that topic you can give us a flavor of?
We have someone who is specialized in this. She is a happy Scrum Master, and she is specialized in serious play. So she has like 80 to 100 mini games that you can play online with your colleagues or with friends or whatever. And during the event, she will talk about the science behind it, but also actually showing some of the games and the tips. And I must admit, I haven't seen one yet, because
I know one. Just like
she knows one.
Yeah, like one example is when I was in a Zoom call with her. Actually, it's during our LinkedIn Live, and we started with a small game, and then at the end, she asked me to look at my chair, and she said there is a box. I have to pick up that invisible box. And then she said, open the box. And what did you see in there? What have you seen? What's in the box? Then I can just use my imagination to tell the story, And it's like a playing, and playing is universal. Everyone loves it. But when we grow up, we forget to play. And we also believe in these kind of elements, which we can connect people together. So that's one example. Just use imagination to tell the story. Then you will get a different energy in the Zoom call. So that's one example.
That's cool. That's like theatre games.
Yes, totally. I love that idea too, because it's like channeling your inner child, going back to basics.
That's really important.
Yeah, very cool. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, I'll finish with my final question for you both. What makes you happy?
Sofie. She makes me happy.
Oh.
I think I find a challenging question because now if my answer isn't Marco,
I'll get mad.
Yeah.
Very good answer. That was a very good answer.
And it's quite funny because I come from China, and if actually I'm in the future I'm going to do the research in China, the Chinese happiness. What's that? I think it would be very different from how we look at happiness. Although I come from China, but I lived in the Netherlands like 30.5 years. I think a lot of friends of mine would say, I'm happy because we have a big house or have a nice car or something like that. But actually, if you ask a few times, and I think for me, people who I love, like my parents, like Marco and our cat, they make me very happy. And eventually, it's about the people who you love and the small things in your life, which really can make me happy.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you. Marco, your answer was beautiful as well.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, you two, for coming on Happiness in Humans. If people want to find out about your event, should they just go to your LinkedIn page? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can find us on LinkedIn, and if you go to the website defineyourhappiness.nl/en,
Okay.
then you can see the event page in English as well.
Okay, great. I'll post a little bit about in our community update. I have a newsletter that I send out around every other week, so I'll add some info in there about it. But thank you both. Thanks everybody who came on to listen today, and we'll see you all in a couple weeks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.